And the Philadelphia Eagles last night, they just keep on winning. Philadelphia Eagles have now won 6 games in a row, and they did take care of the Washington Commanders last night in South Philadelphia by a final score of 26-18. And Brandon Graham, he's having some season in what could be his last season in the NFL. But our buddy BG last night had 4 tackles, also had a sack in the game, and 2 tackles for loss. So Brandon Graham, he's doing Brandon Graham things with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 8-2, and he's kind enough to join us right now on the Zach Gelb Show on the Infinity Sports Network. BG, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for doing this. How you been, my man?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. Just working. You know how it is. We ain't done nothing yet.
So I know you're a team guy. I want you to be selfish here for a season. What you just did last night at the age of 36 was unbelievable. I thought that was your best game of the season. Just talk a little bit about your performance last night and how you're feeling now 11 weeks into the season at the age of 36 and still producing like you're 26.
Well, man, I'm just working, working with the guys, having fun with the young boys. I got their attention as far as like how I work, just what I put into it every day. And then I see what they do. And all I tell them is you got to stay consistent. That's the biggest thing. And I mean, with me being one of the leaders of the team, I don't take that role lightly. And I think it's translating well, man, of like just me showing them boys, every day on how I work, and everybody just want to, emulate that work and make sure they know what they're doing, because it's showing up in a big way. And now I don't even have to say much. We just go out there and just go, and, and they carrying me.
You're a natural leader, but this locker room did lose Kelsey, right? They did lose Fletcher Cox as well. Did you feel a little extra pressure to even step up the leadership even more than what it's normally been like for you?
You know what? I was trying to see who would be the guy that I could lean on as far as, like a Lane or somebody that like a Jalen. Me and Jalen like got a real good relationship. I mean, just talking with some of the receivers like a Smitty, just try to make sure you got eyes and ears in other places on the goals of what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go. And so I think a lot of guys have stepped up in the D-line room, them D tackles, man. You see 98, he stepped up in a big way. He's just maturing as he's going. You got a bunch of tight group in there, JD, all them boys, whoever I, need to, just pump up some days, it's good because, like I told JC them, y'all boys should be commanding big money where they can't keep both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we got to put the work in order for that to happen. And so I think once you know what people interests are and what they do this for, then I play on that. So I think it comes with us just bonding together as a team, going out to dinners and doing little stuff off the field, and it's translating in a huge way right now.
The rich tradition that Philadelphia has, especially for defensive linemen. What's the ceiling for a player like Jalen Carter now in year number 2?
Hey, it's on him. This boy could really take over games, man, for years to come. And all this about is just being in shape. You see, he played every snap. I didn't even know he played every snap for the last couple games. It seemed like, and he's just out there, man, just being him, playing. And once he kind of really get it a little more, I think he can play harder. He can definitely play harder than what he's been playing in, and that's what's scary.
Brandon Graham here with us. How about the entirety of this defense, right? There's been some ups, there's been some downs, but it seems like lately you guys have found your groove. And new defensive coordinator, been around a long time, Vic Fangio. Everyone's kind of on the same page right now. How do you reflect 11 weeks in on this defense so far?
Well, having a new coordinator, man, it's always hard to kind of get everything the way you want it. But I think that a lot of guys have worked to get to that point and to know how coach look at the film and what he's looking at and how he's calling the game and what he's expecting in certain moments. And this is why he called this call, because he expecting run here or expecting pass here. Remember, we in a certain zone, they like to do this, they like to do that. I think we had to learn that communication of what he wanted and how he does things. And then it's a chemistry between player to coach to player. And now he knows what his personnel of what he has. And so what he can and what he can't do and what positions he want to put guys in and what positions they can handle and what they can't handle. And so I think that comes with a new coordinator, but I think that we picking it up in a big way, in a fast way, because the first 4 weeks for sure was like preseason. And then we had that bye week. And then now man, everybody just hitting the ground running because they everything is in, and we kind of know and expect already, how Vic is gonna do it and how he runs his meetings, and that definitely is helping us in a big way.
There's been some changes like we just documented, Brandon Graham. We know this team was 10-1 last year. You guys are 8-2 this year. Why do you feel like it will be different this year compared to how last year ended in the second half?
Well, you know what? The way we was winning last year, it didn't look as good as it's looking now, and that's all I can say that we still haven't even like scratched the surface of how good we could really be. You know what I'm saying? And like we be having some leaky points in the end. Like where they had that drive in the end where we couldn't keep them out the zone, and then they get the 2-point conversion. It's like little things that we can control. I feel like we can sharpen up on, because when you got a team like that, you got to make sure you don't give them no hope. Like in those moments, even though they good, they great players, but in those moments where we up 2 scores, let's not put ourselves in a position where we got to defend an onside kick. On defense, we got to go out there and get a stop. And all 4 downs, we in 4-down territory, and I just think that we gonna keep sharpening up on those little things, but. Yeah, man, I just know this league is like that, where you're going to play hard, and you're going to play. Some teams you blow out, some teams you don't. And even when you think you're going to blow out a team, they still, like the Panthers, they got some pride about them. And them boys, they could beat anybody on any given Sunday if you let them.
Brandon Graham here with us. I was surprised last night with 8 minutes left. They're down by 2, especially with your defense just did on the 2 plays prior that they elected to test you guys. On 4th down and 2, they should have just taken the field goal and go up by 1. What did you kind of think of that in the moment? Were you surprised? I know it ended up working out for you guys.
Yeah, you know what? I was surprised they didn't go. They didn't get the points, because in that moment, they get the points. You don't know what kickoff and all that stuff gonna happen. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen in that moment of like kicking off the ball. We try to return it. Anything could happen, but they didn't take the points in that. I was happy because JC made a heck of a play on one of our on that run play to get him to like 2nd and 2 or whatever it was, and me and Zach Bond the next play on 3rd got him to 3rd and whatever, and we stopped him, got him to 4th and 2, and then them boys Zach Bond and that boy Reed, man, I got much respect for them boys, because they be out there hunting and running. And, man, on defense, that's all you want. You want people to cover up mistakes by the effort. And I think the effort, man, that's what's been really keeping us good, too, because it's been, it's not perfect. But I think that the guys, it means something to them by them choosing to go out and run to the ball and get to the ball, and by any means necessary, get the runner on the ground. And, man, man, I ain't seen a better group, man, right now, man, where we just all playing together, and we all took it personally in the beginning of the season on how we started, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
A few more minutes of Brandon Graham after the Eagles got a big victory last night up against the Commanders, 6 in a row for Philadelphia. They're 8-2 through 11 weeks of the season. First time seeing Jaden Daniels in the NFL going up against him. Just what were the impressions of the youngster?
Man, he fast. He seemed confident. I mean, much respect to him. I know he's a heck of a player. That's one thing. And, some games it's not going to always, look like it. Like yesterday, we just was, I don't know, that was a big game for all of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we all we was getting after it yesterday, both sides of the ball. And we end up, pulling it away in the end. But, boy, we know that we got to see them again, and them boys got a good team, and them boys got a good leader in Jaden, and I think that that just comes with the rookie, being a rookie. You're gonna have certain games where you probably want some throws back, or maybe you might have missed a read and didn't catch a guy that was probably open. It's just so much that you can learn from in failure. So I hope for him. The way he's handling it is like, what, I made these mistakes. I'm trying to learn from them, and then, you move on. But I know he's going to be a threat in this league for sure.
How about your quarterback, Brandon Graham, when you look at Jalen Hurts? Where's the confidence in him, and what do you think he needs to show people in the second half of this season?
Well, I think Jalen just got to continue to keep being Jalen. And, now really gaining chemistry with the coordinator, and I think that just even with Kellen, like him and Kellen, this relationship is going to evolve even more, even so after this year. But like to Jalen credit, he's been having to deal with so many different schemes and having to learn real quick, and never really had a lot of time with the same coordinator. Because even if you win one, say if we win one this year, shoot, people gonna be beating down Kellen Dorr. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's tough because when we lost everybody Super Bowl year, we didn't finish and win it like to where we have a couple more years where people not panicking. You know what I'm saying? But we lost it. So we lost a lot of coaches on top of we lost the game. Then you got to replace those coaches, and sometimes it's not as easy because of what you had before. It's hard to replace really good coaches when you got them all together because they're gonna go get different jobs. But I think we got a great staff right now, and man, I just know that it's just way different than what it was last year.
It seems like from what you're saying, whatever differences there were between the quarterback and the coach, with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, have those been settled? Everyone's all locked in and willing to do whatever it takes to go get a Lombardi back to Philly, right?
Oh yeah. I just think whatever the issues was last year, it definitely is corrected this year, and I just know that we just got so much more growth that's in there for us, and so we just got to make sure we don't get too full of ourselves and to know that we can always get better. That 1% of what we talk about, and never get too full of yourself, man, because as soon as you do that, that's when you get hit right in the mouth.
It's got to be surreal for you, right, to see what Saquon's doing and just the fact that he's in an Eagles uniform?
Hey, I'm just shocked that we got him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, dang, man, I played against this dude, talked stuff about him, all that stuff. And now we playing together. And, I mean, he's having his best year since he's been playing in the league, in my opinion, because, man, I ain't never seen no jump or hurdle. The way some of them spin moves out there that he just, even this past game, even though he didn't go but 5-6 yards, but that boy hit a spin move, and Bobby Wagner lost him because he was on his way, and he hit him with a spin move. And boy, I'm just like Saquon, man. He just out there playing the video game. That's how I look at
it. I need you to keep it real with me, BG. I know what you said in the offseason right before the start of the season that this was going to be it for you. The way that you played last night, is that still the goal, that this is it for you after this year, Brandon Graham?
Well, you know what, man? This is what I will say. Let me just get through the year, and we'll talk about it.
It seems like you're leaving that door open. How he sits you down, it seems like he gets you back for one more year.
Hey, you know what? One thing I know is when I call it quits, it's gone forever. So this is the last level. That's what we talk about. It's the last level you can get to in football. And so for me, I want to make sure that I go out in a big way. Hopefully we holding that trophy. And if we holding that trophy, man, I might have to go out on top like Selly.
Well, that's the thing. I think if you win the Super Bowl, you're definitely going. You're riding off into the sunset. But knowing the way that you're playing right now and knowing who you are, I think you're coming back if you don't win the Super Bowl. I really do believe that.
Hey, well, you know what? If the team want me back, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But everything, you know how it is. It's what have you done for me lately? So hopefully I keep it up.
But only in Philadelphia. Is that where you only play? Like, you're not going anywhere else at this stage of your career, right?
At this point, if it don't make sense in Philly, it's a no-go.
Well, he is Brandon Graham. Brandon, hey, I appreciate the time. Congratulations on the performance on Thursday night, and good luck and good health the rest of the way.
I appreciate you. Have a good one. Go Blue.